President Akufo Addo has announced a major shake-up in his government today. This marks President Akufo Addo's major ministerial reshuffle since assuming office in January 2017. With barely 10 months until 2024 polls, the president has announced a significant changes that will see some of his trusted and reliable hands moving to other ministries, while others will altogether exit this administration. There's been intense pressure on the government to sack the finance minister, Ken-Ofori Atta, who many accused of throwing the country's economy out of gear. Calls for government to also cut expenditure to redeem the failing economy have fallen on deaf ears. My colleague Samuel Mbura is with me in the studio. He has a list of ministers who are leaving and those replacing them. What does the statement say?
Well, Aisha, following the reorganization of the government, President Akufo Addo has submitted to Parliament for prior approval through the Speaker of Parliament some sector ministers and deputy ministers as well. So these are the ministries that have been affected. The Health Ministry, Dr. Bernard Okoboy is taking over from Mr.
Exactly.
We have the Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation. Honorable Ophelia Mensah Hayford is the one taking over. Information Minister, the Deputy Information Minister Fatimatu Abubakar is taking over from her boss. Gender, Children and Social Protection, we have Honorable Dakwa Niman, the one taking that particular ministry. Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, that is Honorable Dan Butcher's ministry, has been taken over by Martin Eje Mensah Kosa. We have Sanitation and Water Resources. Honorable Lydia Seram Alasan is the minister designate for that sector. Tourism, Arts and Culture, we have Honorable Andrew Ejapa Mensah. Greater Accra Regional Minister Titus Glover is taken over from Henry Kote. Oti region, the regional minister has been replaced by Daniel Makato there. Then the deputy ministers that have also been designated are the Information Ministry. We have Sylvester Tete, Local Government Decentralization and Rural Development, Vincent Eko Esifua. We have Communication and Digitalization. Charles Champon is the deputy minister designate for that. In the Health Ministry, we have Adelaide in team, Alexander Akwesi Akwa. Works and Housing, Dr. Prince Hamidu Ama has been designated as a deputy minister in the Works and Housing Ministry. Lands and Natural Resources, Kwesi Konedu is taking over Fisheries and Aquaculture Development. Musa Abdul Aziz Ayaba. Energy, John Kobina Sani, Collins Adomako Mensah. These are the two ministers designate for the Energy Ministry. Education, we have Kingsley Nyako. Employment and Labor Relations, Festus Ewa Kofi has also been designated for Employment and Labor Relations. Gender, Children and Social Protection, Honorable Benjamin Sechiri has also been designated. So these are the ministers that have also been reassigned. So the President Nana Akufo Addo has reassigned the following ministers of state and deputy ministers of state to new offices and has directed that they assume their respective duties with immediate effect. So if you look at the Finance Ministry, we have Mohammed Amin Adam.
Doctor.
Yeah. So Interior, Henry Kote is going as a substantive minister, reassigned from the Greater Accra region to the Interior. Roads and Highways Ministry, Francis Asenso-Boachi, MP for Bantama, who is at the moment the Minister for Works and Housing, has been reassigned to Roads and Highways, taken over from Mr. Amwakwatha.
Okay.
The Minister of State Office of the President, Honorable Ambrose Derry, who is the Interior Minister, has been designated to the ministry,
at the office of the president.
At the office of the president.
And then Works and Housing now goes to Kojo Kroma.
And then the Deputy Minister of State, we have Abdullahi Abanga. He used to be his local government and decentralization
and rural development.
He has also been designated to that particular place as the Deputy Minister by the President. So these names will be submitted to Parliament, and then they'll pass through the procedure and then subsequently assume their offices if they all pass through the vetting and all the processes that are involved.
So what will this reshuffle mean to fixing the country's economy? Is it too little, too late? We'll be having a conversation in our subsequent bulletins on this list that has been released by the president. Let's now take you to Parliament and speak with parliamentary correspondent Akufo Asante for some reaction on the ministerial reshuffle announced by President Akufo Addo this morning. Akufo Asante, has the Speaker made the announcement in Parliament yet? Hello, Kweku.
Malaysia, the Speaker of Parliament has not yet announced the reshuffle to the members of Parliament. There's a roll call currently ongoing where MPs expected to rise up and respond when they are called to signal that they are in the House. But we expect that right after that, the Speaker of Parliament will actually read out a communication from the President, which will include necessarily these are new appointments that have been made by the President. So a lot of MPs are all now in the chamber because they have to be called and they have to respond that they are in Parliament. But the response generally on the minority side has been that this is a welcome development, especially because ministers like Ken-Ofori Atta have been asked from government. The minority have always been on the case, all the finance ministers, who they have accused of being the reason why the economy is struggling the way it is currently. But they also say that they feel this is like a Yankee kind of reshuffle where almost everybody has been given a new post. You look at the list, there are a lot more members of Parliament who have now entered the executive, and some of them, the analysis they make of this is that the President wants it to be more resource going into the 2024 election so that they can win their seats and win more seats for the 2025 Parliament that will begin. And so it's quite a mixed reaction. I just think like Mr. Walkie is like the best now, a deputy minister designated for information. Yesterday he had a notification for Kennedy Japan. He has just walked into the chamber to take part in the roll call. So it's mixed reaction. In fact, one other person that the minority did expected would have been given a new post, would have been the majority leader of the Mensabon, who have been widely checked to be heading towards the Ministry for Foreign Affairs. But that did not happen. He is not part of that. And it would mean that he will be the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs to continue his role as majority leader. The expectation was that change would have brought about some changes to the majority front bench. That also has not happened yet for now. So Aisha, mixed reaction in Parliament in terms of these new changes that have been made, and the minority MPs see that these changes are welcome, especially someone like Ken-Ofori Atta is no more minister.
Now, on the list, there are many big guys who are leaving to be replaced by others. The likes of Ambrose Derry, the likes of the finance minister. Have you cited any of these people who are leaving, and what have they been saying? How are they reacting to these changes?
Well, Ambrose Derry is a regular in Parliament. He's not around, but we expect that he will come in later in the day because he's almost always around. The finance minister exists, the minority say they're excited about it. He is not an MP, so it is not expected that he will be here at all, from now to the end of the year, because he normally comes in his official capacity as Minister of Finance. And once he's released off his post with immediate effect, he's not expected to be here. The Minister for Roads and Highways is also a regular in the House. He's also not around currently, and so we expect them to come out, and when they come in inside, we can get some more reactions from them, especially because of the seismic nature of these new changes that have been made. There are so many people who expect that the President would have done this long time ago, and finally it is coming now. So there's a lot of excitement about that. Let me speak briefly to Honorable Akufo and see what it makes of these changes to government. Honorable Akufo, we are live on JoyNews. The President has finally made some changes. Ken-Ofori Atta is gone. Surely you applaud the President now.
Well, yes, he has done well, belated though. But we are happy so far that the President has listened to the many calls for him to do what he has just done. I don't know what was keeping him from reflecting the pulse and the minds of people that things were going bad. The economy was run down, the situation is bad, the whole government has problems. He kept everybody still on. So, better late than never. I think that what he has done is good.
Do you think in the last 1 year, this new set of people can make any significant changes to save the fortunes of the government, probably allow Mr. Baumia to win in 2024?
I don't think so. The whole system is a systemic problem. The system is disrupted by suspicion of corruption, by the suspicion of malfeasance, poor management, inefficiency. So it's difficult for anybody coming in now to learn the job and to create an influence, a change in the influence. So in the whole system. So I think that changes have happened. Let's see that what they can do is to put a stop to the many lapses that are occurring. If they're able to put a stop to it, it might not improve, but at least we don't want to see any situation of corruption, any allegations of bad governance and challenges in managing the economy, and the kinds of failures and disruptions that followed Dr. Bawumia in his promises and failures, pretending that he was small and his voice was not big enough, and at economic management team, people shouted him down. He wanted something. Can you imagine the chairman of the economic management team to be shouted down by somebody else? So today, let's see that if it were the finance minister who was the biggest, he's out. Let's see whether the economy can readjust itself. So I don't have confidence that changes can happen, but I have confidence that we can put a stop to the many challenges of failures and corruption allegations all over the street.
Thank you very much. So that's Honorable Rashid for giving us some understanding of what they feel in the minority about these issues. They believe this is welcoming, like I told you earlier on, but they said this is start a bit too late because the government just has about 11 months to go. So you don't expect that this set of people can change it substantially.
Kwekwa Asante is our parliamentary affairs correspondent. Definitely will bring you more from Parliament in our subsequent bulletins.